Hello and welcome to City Connections. We're here today. We have a special program. In this day and age when we're hearing nothing but layoffs and people losing jobs and companies closing, we have an opportunity in our community to get a new type of education that will help you be your own boss. So with me I have Tim Scales. And Tim, why don't you say exactly what you're in charge of out here?
Okay, I'd be happy to. I direct the Center for Entrepreneurship as well as the Center for Economic Education and teach here in the School of Business.
And Devin, you have to tell me your last name.
Milholland.
And you are a student here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Tim, you just take off and tell us kind of what you do, and then we'll go into why you're doing this and what it does for people.
Sure. Well, there are several things that we do at the Center for Entrepreneurship as well as the Center for Economic Education. To start with, I'll just let you know that we try to work with people, whether that be students, community, people in the community, businesses. We try to make a difference because we recognize entrepreneurship can have a huge impact on the overall economy. Now, I realize as you started, you were talking about today we hear a lot of closures, we hear a lot of layoff and such, and that's unfortunate, but at the same time, it plays into the program I have because many people are finding out they have to take control of their own destiny.
Right.
And it's difficult. It's difficult if you're one of 200 people working for the same place to always know what's going on. However, if you're the entrepreneur that's starting your own, you know what's going on. Sometimes it's difficult. I'm not going to say entrepreneurship is easy at all because it's not.
And you're not always going to get rich doing it.
Oh, you're not. And a lot of people, that's not really what they're in it for anyway.
Right.
It's because it's the thrill. It almost becomes a game. And people like to come in and play, and they'll develop their product, their idea, bring it to the market, see how the market reacts. And it can be a lot of fun. Devin is a student here, and I'm not going to steal his thunder and let you know what's going on there, but he will. And through entrepreneurship is how I met Devin. And he's a great student and doing a good job. But I meet all kinds of people that have been laid off, people that are working, people that are excited, people who come up with an idea. They wake up in the morning with a dream and come in and say, what can I do with it? And if they're ready to work, we can make their dreams come true.
Several years ago, I sat in on a session over at the high school, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was brought in to talk to all the students about education and finding monies, and that there was money. But he started off each of his sessions about, I sat in with the sophomores. He says, when you graduate from high school and you'll go on to college or some type of training, he says, but in your lifetime you'll change your career 5 to 6 times, and you will have about 25 different jobs. And I'm thinking, gee, when I graduated, if you didn't go to college, you went to the factory, and if you didn't like that, you went across the street, but those days are over.
Sure they are.
And you just really are helping a lot of people.
You know, the fun part about that is if you think of changing jobs 5, 6 times, become an entrepreneur. Because if you're a true entrepreneur, you're going to change your products and your ideas and your thoughts every 6 months. And so if I meet somebody who's a true entrepreneur and today they're thinking, this is my product, they'll be back in within a few weeks saying, what if I do this? And you should see the smiles. It's a lot of fun, and for the person who's willing to put in the work, it's exciting.
So now, to be an entrepreneur, do you have to come out and take your classes, or do you give guidance or some kind of counseling, or how does this work?
It really depends on where a person's at with their experience, because we have people who are pursuing degrees in entrepreneurship. They're studying business and they're saying, hey, I really want to be an entrepreneur. So we have that. We also have a lot of students on campus that are studying other disciplines other than business that realize entrepreneurship is everywhere. So it might be whether it be criminal justice or whether it be nursing. They're realizing that they could have a hobby even, and they need to understand entrepreneurship. So we offer classes in entrepreneurship for all disciplines. Now, for the person who is not studying at the university, sure, they may come out and take 1 or 2 classes just to familiarize themselves with the processes of business. At the same time, we hold workshops. They may want to come to a workshop just to get the overview, to get the understanding. And for those who say, I'm not the classroom, fine, we'll do it one-on-one, and we spend time as a consultant, if you will, and look at their ideas. And not all ideas are going to be marketable right away. However, most ideas, if properly executed, can become marketable. So I would encourage anybody who has an idea to give us a call, come by. I mean, we're busy, okay? But we'll try to take some time and sit down and just see if you have a feasible idea.
Great. Now, Devin, you're not from Richmond, are you?
No.
Where did you come from?
I'm from Hartford City.
And how did you come down here?
I was in the BOSS program, and that's where I met Tim, and he gave me some information on IU East, and I came, checked out the campus, liked it and knew that I wanted to be in entrepreneurship here. So.
Great. So what do you enjoy about doing this?
What do I enjoy? I enjoy just the everyday challenges, the new challenges that come about every day. Being my own boss with entrepreneurship and
Now you are a student right now.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and just creating businesses based on things that I enjoy.
How many years is this going to take you to get a degree or your certificate, or what will you get at the end of this?
I will be here for 4 years.
Great.
So.
And where do you see yourself in about 5 or 10 years then?
In about 5 to 10 years, I haven't thought out too far as of 5 to 10 years just yet. Just all the things I'm working on right now. So.
But so you bring projects along as you in your classes. Is that what you do?
Yeah, correct.
Besides like a general studies too, you'll have a 4-year degree when you're finished.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Okay. And what would you tell other people about the opportunities that you have here?
About the opportunities, just to be open-minded, stay creative, and just work hard at it.
And what kind of projects have you worked on?
Some of the projects I've worked on is the Build-A-Rock.
Yeah, these are interesting. Now you go to craft shows, and these are a lot of money. So where did you come up with this idea? And
Actually, I was in the 2nd grade. I was in Tucson, Arizona, and they had some rocks that were painted. And then in high school, I had to come up with just a business. So I started my Build-A-Rock, which was kind of based off of Build-A-Bear, and then it just kind of brought it to him.
now, do you have classes or workshops on this, or how do you, being in the entrepreneur class?
Mm-hmm.
How do you go out and show people or show yourself what you're going to do? You learn a business plan, and then how do you market what you're doing?
Really just, we just put out the workshops and go to teachers and classrooms and hold the workshops with students and teachers as well, and just kind of go like that.
Do you ever work with younger kids on any of this?
Yeah, I think the youngest we work with is 4 and 5.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, we really have.
Yeah.
Little tycoon in the making.
I have to share with you the Build-A-Rock because it's been an awesome program for us the last 3 months. When I met Devin, he was in the BOSS program, which is Business Opportunities for Self-Starters. And that's a program that we started 2 years ago to teach entrepreneurship in high schools in 9 counties.
Oh, very good.
And Devin was in Blackford County. He won the competition in Blackford County. And then from there, he became a student here from the BOSS program. One day in my office, he was sharing with me the Build-A-Rock that he had done for high school. I asked him to repeat it because I want to make sure I understood it, and said, let's do a workshop. So I helped him, and we put out invitations, and 2 weeks later, we had 40 people sign up for a workshop. And it's simple. It's a simple concept. We take the people to the river, and we get a rock, a natural resource. We have a rock that's not even started yet.
Yeah.
Just a simple, basic rock, okay? We bring them back to a room, we give them paint, we give them supplies, and they turn a simple, free resource, something we walk over every day, into a product that can be marketable. You said yourself, you go to a craft fair, you see a rock, you'll pay good money for it. People will pay good money. This is a beautiful rock right here, and people will buy that. So we teach them the concepts of market economics with a natural resource. It's just, you've got to be creative and then turn it into something. We were creative. We started a workshop. And in the last 3 months, we've had over 150 teachers in our workshop, probably touching around 2,000 students.
Oh my.
For 2 weeks prior to Christmas, Devin and I took a road trip. And we drove, and every day we were in a different community. We were teaching at Boys and Girls Clubs, or we were teaching at schools. And we had kids anywhere from 5 years old to high school seniors working with rocks and just expressing themselves through it and understanding the concept. So you can tell us, where did we go?
We went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to Boys and Girls Club, and then we went to...
You took a road trip.
Yes, we did.
And then we went to Tucson, Arizona.
Very good.
And Phoenix, and then we went to Lake Havasu and Las
Very
Vegas.
good.
And then in just a couple weeks, we'll be going to the inauguration. And while we're at the inauguration, we're we're going to teach the Build-A-Rock in Baltimore and in DC.
Very good.
So we try to make the most of every opportunity we have to teach. And
What
spread
other
that
kind of
word.
projects have you done?
Well, at the center, we have not only the workshops for this, we're also working on some workshops for e-commerce. So people that want to maybe start some home businesses, we can teach them how to do that from their PC. We make a lot of presentations. We've done a lot of writing, consulting, teaching, a lot of SIFE projects, the Students
That's
in
what I was
Free
gonna ask
Enterprise.
next, yes.
And we have,
And those are all
powerfully-
community projects, aren't
They
they?
are. We have over 50
And we're going to have a green one
students.
soon.
Yes, and we're going to talk about it in a couple of minutes. I hope we have some time here. Also, we've started the Rotaract, which is a college program off of Rotary International. And then we have our In Your Business television show. We have podcasting, which Devin's in charge of podcasting. We do have a green project, and I'm excited about the green project. It's one right now where people are looking at their Christmas trees, their live Christmas trees, and what to do with those. And most people just throw them out. And we're going to turn this into a workshop just like our Build a Rock. But Devin, I'm going to let you share about this.
Okay. We take the Christmas trees and we cut all the branches off, and then we cut them down into little discs like this to make coasters. You can make them into coasters. You can put designs on them with a wood burning tool, and then you can put pictures on them as well.
Oh, the Model T.
Yeah,
All
put
right.
pictures on them, and then you could even use them as ornaments for past trees and carry them on.
Very good.
So,
We shared the idea of the coasters when we were in Tucson, and the school had pictures of each of the kids they didn't know what to do with. So they've asked us to send the coasters, and they're going to use the coasters as picture frames and then put them up on the wall. So it's
That'd
really
be a neat ornament for the tree, too, to hang on the tree.
Sure, and
yeah.
it's a very, very, I mean, it's an inexpensive way. Most people are throwing these
Yeah.
away.
What do you do with all those school pictures, too? That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
So there's our new one.
Coast to coast. Very good.
So,
Well, tell me some of the community projects that you have done with your class.
well, most recently, we sold the DVD for the 147, and we worked with Rob Quigg and his group that made the DVD, and then we had an exclusive to sell it. So we worked with Hastings and Sidewan and Kroger, First Bank, First Merchants,
And the mayor's office.
your office, and our bookstore, and we had over 300 people that wanted these online.
Wow.
So it's amazing, and this is great to teach, because whether you're at home thinking about entrepreneurship, whether you're here studying in a classroom, you have to understand the markets have changed. We're no
Right.
longer just looking at at Richmond. We're looking globally, and this project alone has exposed our students to a global economy. We had a request for this from Hong Kong. We had another one from Paris
and Denmark.
and Denmark. And so people that were here maybe 30, 40 years
Right.
ago that have now moved on are still in touch with our community. And this has been a great learning project for us. So this is one
Well, we need to get
example.
some of us older people to understand that. It's not just little Richmond, Indiana, Wayne County anymore. We are part of the world, and
We are.
whatever
And-
we do, we need to make sure that the rest of the world knows about it, too.
Well, and I'm very pleased because I have an opportunity to take students away from our area as well. And we travel, whether we be to Chicago or whether it be to DC or whether it be to India or South Africa. I do that because I want to expose our students to the global economies. I don't want them to go there. I want them to go there and see that the markets are there and come back here and serve those markets from here. I also bring people from those countries to our city, and I bring them to your office, and I introduce them to our business, hoping that they will want to do business here. And it's been good. Those are some of the projects that we work with. It's never ending. If there's an idea, we're going to build off of it, and we're going to grow with it.
Now, is your class regular in the cycle of the normal classes, a semester or a term? Or do you go year-round, or how?
Well, the program is basically if you're degree seeking, you're going to have certain classes you take that build up to that 4-year degree, okay? So it just depends on where you're at in that degree. Now, the New Venture Creation, which is a class I teach the business plan, design, and development in, we offer it each semester, yes. And that's where you really get the meat of the business plan.
So if there's parents or grandparents out there that want to encourage their student or family member to be a part of this, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, I would have them get a hold of me here at the university.
Okay.
Come to the School of Business, ask
At
for
IU
Tim,
East.
ask for entrepreneurship, and you're going to get put in the direction of me. We have a lot of students on campus, a lot of people in the community who just have a business idea that, like I said, they just come by and they visit and they try to pursue it. I have one that I'm really pleased with. She takes men's ties, okay, and turns them into ladies' purses.
Oh, really?
And I think that's remarkable. I mean, there's a lot of people that would like to take the memory of a tie and turn it into something like that.
There was a high school student a couple years ago, because I bought 2 for my grandkids. She took the juice drinks and made them into purses. And they were bright and colorful, and she made a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, well, we have a classroom that we work with, 3rd grade, and they take duct tape and make purses.
Oh, my
and
favorite
wallets.
thing.
So, I mean, it's no idea can be too simple, and we take those simple things and turn it into actual projects, and just work with everybody. This evening, we're going to be speaking at the American Professional Women's Association about just the simple things and how they can make businesses. So, I don't know if we have time. I'd like to maybe let Devin show you a product that he made that introduced him to me that I'm extremely proud of.
Okay.
So, Devin?
Yeah. This is my easy sweep. I don't know if you can.
It's all in one there, huh?
Please, yes.
Get to, so, it's I'll bring it out here. This is my product I designed through the BOSS program, and
Very good. Now, do you sell those?
right now I just have a prototype right now in the business
Okay.
plan. So.
It's ideal for us older people.
Well, it's a great product. I was very proud of this when he brought it forward because, you know, he has shared with me. He goes to a restaurant, he watches, you know, the wait crew pull a chair out, then pull out a dustpan, then pull out a broom,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot of time. So he went home and started designing a product so they can just ease it out, hit it, and go.
Now, Devin, tell me when did you start realizing that you had an interest in doing this entrepreneur, being your own boss and creating and inventing things?
It was really when it was brought to my attention, like that, hey, this is something I'd like and enjoy and everything, was when I was in the BOSS program in the classroom, and which is my last trimester of my senior year. And that's
So
kinda
you
what
weren't
kicked it
one of
off
these
for me.
little genius kids at 3 and 4 years old. They go, oh, let's do this and let's do that. Huh? You're just a normal kid.
I guess.
That's great. And you know, how many times have you seen something where they sound like, I thought of that 2 years ago. Why didn't I do that? And your ideas are all usually pretty good ones.
Well, I hear it every day. People coming in saying, well, I had this idea and somebody else did it. Well, you know what? Blame yourself.
That's
because
right.
If you have the idea and you execute on it, then you can share it. And otherwise, you know, you can't blame anyone else.
And if to be an entrepreneur, you don't really have to go and actually make the article. You just come up with the idea, present the idea, sell the idea to somebody, and off you go and do something else.
I have entrepreneurs that come from all directions. I have entrepreneurs that can make the item, but have no idea how to market it. I have entrepreneurs that has no clue how to make an item, but they know how to market it. And so we just have to get that
them
match
together.
made. And just to give you an idea, the Easy Sweep, that's something that's still in development, okay? Devin's recognized a product that we can find a market for, and he will. He also goes out and sells candles. Now, he doesn't make the candles yet. He works with Jackie at Warm Glow and takes a good quality product and then takes it to the market. That's also entrepreneurship. Button covers. For the last few years, I've manufactured my own button covers because I like the look of cufflinks, but I don't wear the French cuffs. So button covers just fit right over top of a button. So I designed and make my own. Devin said, how do you do that? So now I've instructed him on how to do it. He sells button covers as well. One of our students thought we need to learn how to teach children how to make things. We want to teach them how to make soap. And so he made a mold for Sife.
Oh,
We pour it with soap, and we teach 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders how to make soap out of a mold. That's entrepreneurial.
very good.
Selling the DVDs, finding those outlets, that was. The rocks, the coasters, all these things are so entrepreneurial. So yes, an entrepreneur could be the innovator, could be the person with the idea, could be the person who just markets it, comes in many different directions in many different ways.
Now, the students that you have in your classes, will most of them stay here in our area, or will they go someplace else?
Well, you know, it depends. I will share with you, and I'll use Devin as an example. When I met Devin in Blackford County, he presented a business plan for Easy Sweep, and he was going to manufacture Easy Sweep in California and distribute wherever it could go globally. After that day, the judges at that competition said, Devin, lower your price of manufacturing, get it out of the country. I said, Devin, lower your price of manufacturing, bring it to the Midwest. Now, the next time I met Devin was at a regional competition where he listened to the judges, and he was going to manufacture it in Mexico to save labor cost. Today, he's sitting in Richmond, Indiana, studying under me, and he has plans of manufacturing this in the Midwest.
Very good.
So, yes, there's going to be people that are going to go wherever, but if I can make the difference and I can find ways to keep them here in the Midwest, it's going to happen. I will share with you that I've traveled a lot, globally and nationally, and I know what the costs are. And probably some of the lowest cost to manufacture, retail, or anything else is right here in the Midwest. With today's economy and with the access of things like e-commerce, there is no reason to look anywhere but the Midwest.
Well, and
distribute
the quality
out
of life and the cost of living in the Midwest. I mean, you don't have this when you go to the coast. I mean, the coasts are nice, wonderful places with the oceans and all this, but they charge you an arm and a leg for rent, for food, for everything, the insurances. So you can get a lot more bang out of your buck here than you can anyplace else.
But it's pretty simple to serve the coast
Sure it
from
is.
the Midwest.
Sure it is.
So why not?
I like it. Encourage people to stay. You're going to stay here now. We'll make you an official member of the city.
Okay.
What else have you been doing? I see you out and about as much as I am.
Yes, absolutely, and I try to because I want to help. I mean, whether it be not-for-profits, and a lot of times they don't have to be an entrepreneur, but a not-for-profit or a business that may be struggling a little bit, they're looking for ideas. Grants have become very, very difficult to get.
Yes, they have.
There's been cutbacks. There's not-for-profits that maybe we're getting $50,000 a year through a grant that maybe got cut to 25. Now they have to start finding ways to make that up. I work with them, and I have to help them become entrepreneurial, if you will, and find ways to make that up.
On your SIFE programs, because I know you've done numerous things. You took on the 4th of July, the airport.
Correct.
What other type of projects like that have you done in the community?
Well, that was one. We have one we're starting right now that's called Suited for Success. And as you know, I mean, clothing can be very expensive. And our students recognize that. Before you have a job, you have to interview for a job. So our students can't afford to go out and spend $300 or $400 for a suit to interview. So we've started Suited for Success, where we're going to ask people to donate
That's great.
suits. And we have a closet, and then when the student has an interview, they can come to the closet and get a suit so that they can go get that job so they can afford to buy that suit in the future. That's a community project. We just received a small grant through Lilly, and we're going to hire a part-time coordinator to go out, work with the businesses, work with the students, put together internships.
That's
that
great.
internship is going to help the student get experience and at the same time help that business. Businesses have to, watch their cost. And so if we can put an intern in there at a lower wage maybe and try to get, both of them happy, those are the type of things we want to do.
Well, and businesses nowadays, sometimes we think of the younger generation as not quite the same as us. And we have to give them a chance and opportunity. They're very bright. They think different. They think a lot faster than we do. Everything is quick text messaging and all of that in the computer, and a lot of older people aren't quite up to that yet. So we have to give everybody a chance, but there's no better way to learn each other than to be mentors.
Sure.
And be with each other, and it's great.
Well, Devin and I do a presentation, and we should do it here locally and share as well, but it's called A Booming Economy. And we talk about the baby boomer, which I'm at the very tail end of, and the echo boomer, which Devin is right in the midst of. And we talk about the succession of that and how the baby boomers need to work with the echo boomers for succession and to turn that over. A lot of differences between the two generations. However, with respect and trust, we can put the two together and really make some things happen. So, yes.
So this is just a win-win situation all the way around that you're doing.
It needs to
That's
be.
great.
Yes.
That's great. Well, Devin, do you have any closing words for us?
Not really.
Do you ever have the opportunity to, I know when you do your workshops and be out with younger kids, but to encourage them, when is a good age to encourage them to start thinking about something like this?
I would have to say, and I want Devin to speak on this too, for me, when we went to the workshops with 5-year-olds, it was a struggle because they ran pretty freely. You know, it's hard to explain. Devin
They have a
seemed to
lot of
really enjoy
energy.
them. The paint was flying, and I was getting hit, and I wasn't used to that. So I do really well, probably from 3rd grade up, as far as trying to explain the concepts. Devin, on the other hand, related well to the 5-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, the 5-year-olds was more of a, they were just kind of really creative, and once you got towards the older ones, they were just kind of like,
Have you ever
And they were
thought of
thinking what they can
teaching
do.
rather than just, you can do your entrepreneurial things on the side, but you're good with kids, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I haven't thought too much about it.
You've got
but
a
lately
ways to
over the
go.
workshops and
Yeah.
stuff, it's kind of worked out.
That's
so.
teaching, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I just want to thank you very much, and I really appreciate what you do for the community. This has been great, and we have many projects for you. You know, you did say you're going to do a green project for the city,
Sure,
so
sure.
we really like that. And what we're finding out, everybody, you know, when you used to think of the environment, everybody called you a tree hugger, but now it's dollars, and it's real actual dollars that you're saving when you start being energy efficient, and we have to think of more than ourselves. And the environment is about saving it and protecting it for the future generations. And that's what we're really trying to do. So anything green we appreciate. And
Okay.
we hope to be a trash-free city building here pretty soon, where we're going to recycle everything so that nothing goes to the dump. We've got a ways to go, but we're working on that. And it takes an entrepreneur to figure out how to get that done too.
Sure. Well, at least everybody working together as entrepreneurs do.
That's the key. That is the key to everything. Well, I thank you very, very much for being here. And Devin, it's nice to meet you. And I will see you around again. And now that I know who you are, I probably will be calling on you for some projects of your own. So,
Great. All right.
thank you. Well, thank you for being with us today. This is just one of the many opportunities that's available in our community if you want a job or you're thinking of your future. So this is not just for young students. This is for some of us older folks too that need a second chance or look at life a little differently now. So give Tim a call. The number will be on the screen, and he has email, and he'll get back with you. And working together, we can make a big difference in our community too. See you next time.